You know what, guys? I think it's time to finally admit that I am an enthusiast PC gamer now. So, welcome back to Frog Boy X1 Gaming and Tech Reviews. I'm Andrew, and so I just got done watching a bunch of premium PC builds, and like talking about like some of the like premium equipment and stuff, and I'm like, I'm looking at it, and you know, like when you watch most of the other channels and stuff, everybody's always like coming at like the price of these things and stuff. You know what I mean? They're like, oh gosh, because I was watching a video on the motherboard that I got, trying to make sure that like I got the right case and everything. That X870E-E, the Wi-Fi ROG that somebody in the community sent to me. And I'm looking at that, and like the guy that's like, you know, talking about it and, you know, explaining all the stuff, and he's all like, oh my gosh, it's just so expensive and stuff. And I'm like, well, yeah, dude, you're buying a good board. And I'm looking at this board, man, because I haven't seen it in person yet. It'll be here in just a couple more days. And I'm looking at this board, and I'm like, damn, that thing is beefy and it's beautiful, and it just, and the light on it, and oh my gosh, like this board just looks absolutely freaking incredible. And I mean, I'm sitting here, you know, like I've got the pre-build, I've got this, and to me, those looked already good. I was like, damn, these are badass. Like I'm sitting here on my AMD build, and I'm like, dude, this thing looks sick. And then, you know, even the pre-built, you know, the CyberPower PC that I bought, I'm like, damn, you know, all the lights, it's the lights. Honestly, it's the lights. They just make these things look so cool. I mean, it's like, yeah, it just looks cool. You turn on the lights, and for some reason, it just adds that little bit of flavor to make your PC look good. And so now I'm sitting here, you know, that AIO that I got, the Mag AIO that I got for my other build, it's not a bad looking, it's not a bad looking AIO. It cost me a couple $100. You know, I spent like $200 on that one. But then when you compare it to the ROG Ryujin, you can just tell immediately that the Asus AIO is significantly higher quality, better build quality, better material filling. It felt good. Like I struggled to put actually, I don't even think I had to put the freaking things on there, but the other MSI AIO, the 240 mil that I bought the first time, I struggled to get like the holes lined up and all of that. But you guys saw that when I'm putting together the Ryujin, it's all just like smooth like butter, everything just going in there. I mean, it's smooth like butter, so I know it's gonna be a fabulous addition to Butter Smoothland 4X Monster 5090 build. Guys, I'm not even joking, man. Unboxing that. And even the fans, the Thermaltake fans, those things feel so freaking premium. I'm just like, gosh dang. And I got another set of Thermaltake, and they're not even nowhere near as close to quality as the ones that I got right there. And I'm like, damn, man. It's like, okay, so when you, I mean, I got the B580 or the B650. Okay, the Tomahawk, you know, I had a Tomahawk on the AM4. Just thought, hey, I'll just move over to the new Tomahawk. It looks pretty good. It's got, you know, more SSD slots, stuff like that, you know. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's a great board. It gets the job done. I don't feel like I'm at a disadvantage with it. It feels like a decent experience. But I'll tell you guys something. Buying premium parts to build your PC. I watched this one guy. I've never seen anybody do a water loop, okay? Never seen anybody. And I watched this one guy, and he did it, and it was just perfect, man. Building in the same case that I got. Just puts this thing together, and it just looks so good. I was like, damn. And then I started asking myself, I'm like, okay, everybody's out there, they're always negative against the price. They're always beating down the price. They're always, oh, it's too expensive. And then when you look at the stuff, okay, you look at the products, or you feel them in your hands, all that shit melts away anyways. Like $500 for an AIO, like trust and believe, I was sitting here and I was like, oh man, I hope I didn't make a mistake, you know, because I get people in the comment section telling me, oh, you should have got this, it's cheaper, this, that, and this. And I paid $200 for the Mag Air, okay? Or for the MAG AIO. When I say that the Asus Ryujin 360, Ryujin 3 360 ROG is significantly better quality, like I legit mean that. I'm like, damn. Right after I started holding it in my hands and putting it together and stuff and looking at all, I was like, dude, this shit's badass. I was like, damn. I was like, I paid $200 for the other one. This is significantly better. It's got a screen. It's got a freaking nice fan in the top of it that keeps the block itself cool as you're. I was like, holy shit, this is badass. And I'm like, and it's got an Asetek freaking motor pump in there. Dude, you know how good Asetek products are? They are premium. They don't make freaking garbage. Like when you buy something and then you look at it and it's like 6 years, you know, warranty on that. I feel better about that. Like I'm like, wow, if that, just looking at the videos I did today for the motherboard that I'm getting, yeah, dude, I can already tell you that thing is gonna be quality. Just looking at that, you know, and I guess is what I'm trying to say is, you know, everybody's complaining about the prices and stuff. And I mean like the 5090. I paid $2,600 for my 5090. And it's literally the best gaming GPU you can get on the market today. Do I think it's a gaming GPU? No, not really. I think you can get by with like a 5070 Ti, 9070 XT, 5080, 9060 XT, 5070 Ti, or 5060 Ti, 16 gigabyte. You can absolutely get by with those. You can play 4K games. You can play most of these games on these. Adjust your settings, have some fun. You know, give it a little bit, you know, I mean, older games, yeah, crank them up, play them at max settings, whatever. The newer games, put them on settings that your card's gonna give you a good gaming experience, and I think you'd be fine. But being able to max everything out on a 5090 and not worry about VRAM, having, you know, at least decent power, being able to like kick on like DLSS and frame generation and get like 200, 300 frames a second at 4K. I know Buttersmoothland 4X isn't real frames. I get it. I understand. I completely understand. But it's a feature that I paid for. I paid dearly for that feature. I'm going to use it. I have high refresh monitors. I'm going to freaking use it. And so then when I start thinking about all of these, this is, there, trust me, there is a point in all of this, okay? But I'm trying to work it out in my head at the same time as I'm talking to you. I do that a lot. If you've noticed, you've definitely noticed that. But it gets to a point where in the PC space, okay, and it's just like with cars, car parts, stuff like that. You go out and you fix your car, you buy the cheap shit. They say lifetime warranty. You're bringing that shit back every 6 months. You don't even know how many freaking starter motors I've changed because people were like, oh, I'm going to get the cheap one. And then it literally goes out in like 6 months because it literally, you get what you pay for. You buy a cheaper motherboard. You buy, you know, you're always at that risk, you know, like you buy the cheapest one and then say X3D chip comes out. Maybe you ain't got enough power. Maybe you just can't run that. Maybe you can't do that. So that board, you literally just by cheaping out, made it so that board you're gonna have to change it, which is gonna add to your cost over the long run. Whereas if you would have bought the X870E-E, that board could last you 10 freaking years. Like you could legit get the highest, I mean, by the time, you know, AMD 5 is done, maybe we'll get another chip, maybe even 2. We might actually get 2 more generations out of these boards. That gives you 2 more opportunities to like upgrade, you know, like, but if you get a cheap board, hey, you get what you pay for. You get what you freaking pay for. You don't get all the fancy stuff that like later down the road. Like, I feel like investing in your platform is a good idea. Now I get it, bro. Like some people just can't afford to like build out a badass PC. Like I get it. Like I understand that. And look, man, that's why there's options. That's why there's budget options so that people can build and still be able to taste that PC life. Now, do I think the X870E is gonna give me significantly more performance over a B650? Probably not, but the longevity, the build quality, the extra power delivery, the power stages, the better components. These are all things that are going to make that experience last longer. Whereas with with like the cheaper boards or the cheaper products, you get what you pay for. And I feel like this is what I feel like. Okay, I feel like if you're buying the cheaper products and you're just getting something to get you by, whatever, you know, that's cool. I'm not going to look down on anybody for doing that. Like, why would I? I want people to be able to get into PC gaming and be able to enjoy it and have fun and play and play games that they want to play. Like, do what you got to do to get into PC gaming. But at the same time, we have to come to grips and we have to understand that there are parts, that there are products, that there are builds and build quality that's going to take you a lot further into the future. Now, before I started buying any of this higher end stuff, I had this thing called FOMO a lot. And a lot of that just has to do with because the things I was buying were so inexpensive that I felt like I could buy more of it. Like, I was like, yeah, dude, if I need to replace a $200 board, whatever, dude, $200 is $200. That's nothing, man. I could do that, no problem. You know, I got to replace a $500 graphics card. No problem, man. Sheesh, I make more than that in a week. You see where I'm going with this, okay? Like, buying the cheaper stuff, it almost instantly adds to your FOMO because there's always something better and it's just a little bit more. Or just a little bit more. You see where I'm going with this, with the whole PC thing? There's always something just a little bit better that costs just a little bit more money. And a lot of people, a lot of other content creators try to make it look like these companies are out there just being evil to get you to not buy the cheap product, but to spend a little bit more and get a better product, and then spend a little bit more after that, and then pretty soon you're just like, oh, I might as well just get the best option. Well, here's the thing, man. If you're as old as I am, money is less of an issue the older you get. You know, when you're in a career and you're working, you're doing stuff like that. Like that's just life. It just you get smarter with your money. You spend it on less stupid stuff. You're not running around gallivanting, hanging out at bars and doing all kinds of stuff anymore. You're just not. You start to get to a point where you have more money than time. Okay, and so if you're still living in this like frugal mindset. And trust me, I do. I have been for a very long time. Like I'm like, yeah, I'll just buy the cheap stuff and you know, whatever. And you really do start to get to a point where it's like nothing satisfies you because you know it's cheap. You know it's just enough to get you by. You know that. Like it's always in the back of your mind. You're like, gosh dang it, man. I should have just bought that. I would have been happier with that. You know, you get like this basic ass board and you're looking at it and you're like, gosh damn, dude, I wish I had RGB on it, or just something. You know what I mean? You're just wishing that maybe if I would have spent the extra $50, I could have had another M.2 drive in the freaking motherboard. But I cheaped out because I already thought that PC gaming was too expensive. And you know, you're already spending like 65% of the price of like good stuff. And so, I don't know. Like, we'll find out once I get this whole thing built up, but I'll tell you this, and the reason why it all comes full circle is because of the fact that I pushed back against buying a 5090 or a 4090 or even a 3090 for a very long time because I thought that was just way too egregious. But now here I am with a 5090, and I'm about to make it a pretty substantial build, like not like the nicest you can do, but from what, I mean, pretty decent. Like this is not a very cheap build. Like this is a pretty good one, a 9950X 3D, good fans. I mean, those fans cost me $70 for 3 of them. I was like, all right, cool, whatever, you know, like the reversible fan blades and stuff. I looked, man, I was like, dang, they were nice. They were white. I don't know what it is about white plastic, but it is very rare. So the cost is significantly higher for that white plastic. It's crazy. It is crazy. You know, for my AIO, I was like, dude, I want a screen. I don't need an OLED. I didn't like, so I've seen a couple of them. They have like the little rounded freaking screen thing. I don't like the way that looks for me. Like I don't really care for that. I like the way I don't know what it is about the design philosophy of the Ryujin 3, but I like this AIO. I think it's cool. I love the freaking screen on it. I love how it's a box. I like that. I think that is absolutely incredible. The other one's kind of just, I have a feeling with that. After buying the Fold 3, I don't trust bendable. I don't trust, you know, like that egregious of a bend on any kind of freaking OLED. Like to me, it's just like, I don't know about that. I know we're not bending the screen, but gosh dang it, man. Like I don't know. I don't know why I don't think that looks good. I did see one build that actually looked pretty cool, and I was like, gosh dang, that looked pretty good. But for me, I like the screen. Like, and I don't really mind LCD. I do love OLED, trust and believe. I love OLED, but to me, like a LCD screen, to just have a picture on there, that doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to be watching stuff on it. I might have, you know, like a Superman emblem or something cool on there. It's just things that I want to do, man. Like things that I want to do with this build that I'm at a point now where it's like, okay, I can do that. I guess is what I'm trying to say is, if you keep buying the cheap stuff and the entry-level stuff and you're always trying to cut corners and save money on your PC build, are you ever truly going to be happy with that experience? And I've noticed that since getting the 5090, like I'm not like this, I'm not like, oh, snobby and stuff, but if you're going to spend that much on a graphics card, you should at least get like a good board and a good cooler and a good power supply. I mean, like you should get a good PC. Like you should build around that. And I'm hoping that this is more of a longevity build as opposed to just being like a flash in the pan type deal, you know. To me, lately, like up till now, I've legit looked at these PCs as like, okay, you know, I mean, like the guy at Best Buy recommended the Flow 7, the H Flow 7. He recommended the motherboard and all of that stuff. And I just was like, I was in a hurry. I was trying to make content and stuff. So I just threw it together real quick. And I was like, all right, cool. I didn't even have 3 fans in the front until very recently. I had like 1 fan in the front. Like I didn't even care. Like it was, it was like, yeah, whatever. And so I finally decided to put fans on it. But now, like I'm building this whole thing out. I bought 2 pre-builts already, and it's like I've already been through 4 PCs in just the last 4 years, and now it's like I think it's time. So yeah, these 6090 leaks really are there to design to drive FOMO or whatever, or even make you just feel better about the price that you're going to pay for a 5090. But let's face it, 584-bit bus, 32 gigs of GDDR7 VRAM. Freaking 21,000 freaking CUDA cores, lots of ROPs, lots of shaders. This GPU, man, is gonna last a while. 4090 is gonna last a while. 7900 XTX is gonna last a while. 9070 XT is going to last a while. These GPUs that they build now are better than they've ever been before. The new features really do carry these cards a lot further into the future. Then I don't even think any of us really grasp that yet. I think that we're so tied and it's like we're so conditioned because of the way things used to be that we look at these cards. And since I started playing with the freaking features this generation, I have a whole new outlook on the way that these cards are going to work ever since I started testing on lower end or lower resolution. I have a better outlook on how this is going to go. Look, people give me shit because I can enjoy playing games on a 5050. And you need to listen to this. People give me shit because I can play on a 5050. I can find the good in a game like Borderlands 4. When everybody else is trashing it, I'm having fun with it. I'm a gamer first. I like to game. I've gamed on a freaking Super Nintendo or regular Nintendo at 8-bit, 2D side-scrolling, like you could legit see big old fat pixels. It's about gaming at the end. Gaming is the part that's supposed to drag you in, that's supposed to make you happy, that's supposed to entertain you. But now with the rise of YouTube and we have content creators to entertain us, Who needs games when you got content creators to entertain you? And I get it, you know, like some days I don't feel like playing video games. I'd rather just watch a YouTube channel or watch YouTube or something like that. And so I get it. Like, it makes sense. You know, the negativity out there stopping you from buying games that you would have normally bought. You know, somebody influences you enough to not care about it. They influence you to be mad about prices. They influence you to this. They influence that. Look, a lot of you guys told me to buy certain stuff for the PC. Okay, to save money, this, to do that, whatever, okay? At the end of the day, and I've always been this way, if I put my mind on something, chances are I'm gonna do what I want to do first. That's just me. That's how I am. Like I'm not saying that I'm immune to influence, because I'm not. Obviously, I keep buying all this crap just to prove you guys wrong, time and time again. You know what I mean? So obviously, I fall for the influence too. But I guess if you take anything away from this video, buy stuff that you want to buy. Okay? Even if it is more money. And this, I was saying this around the time of the 9070 XT and 5070 Ti when they came out. And I was telling people, I was like, look, man, there's a lot of cool looking AIBs out there. Okay? Yes, they're more expensive. They're definitely charging you more money. And in my mind, I was like, well, dude, if NVIDIA can get away with $1,000 freaking 5070 Ti, there's no reason why 9070 Ti is not worth that. It's an incredible GPU. AMD usually supports their products long term and is bringing more features all the time. Redstone's going to come out. It's going to make the 9070 XT experience even better. It's going to bring 6,000 GPUs, 7,000 GPUs. It's going to bring them up too, and it's going to be a better ecosystem all over the place. NVIDIA's starting to get with the program and bring in new features to older GPUs and stuff, and that's what we want. That's what we want as gamers, is for these things to happen. And so when I was explaining earlier in the year, when these GPUs started launching, is buy the card you want to buy. Okay, like if one of the AIBs catches your eye and it's like, damn, I want that card, buy that card. It'll make it a lot better once you do start to, like, if you do start to regret or whatever else. Actually, it's not even, you're not even going to regret it. That's the thing. It's like you're going to buy the one you want, and it's going to be aesthetically pleasing. It's going to look good. You're going to look at it. You're going to enjoy that. Because trust me, I'm freaking human. Like I like to look at my visual things and be like, yeah, and be proud about that product. And so that's why I say, buy the AIBs that you want to buy. Like, if these guys want more money for them, and here's the thing, it's like, they know that frame generation, they know that the upscaling, okay, this is the thing, they know that 90% of the market are casual gamers, okay? They know that. And so they know that casual gamers are going to use DLSS. They're going to use frame generation, and that is going to prolong the life of that GPU significantly longer than ever before. Like, you thought, like, I'm telling you guys, when I started testing 9060 XT and 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte cards, I was like, wow, dude, you probably don't even need more than this to enjoy games. Turn down the settings a little bit, play at 1080p, play at 1440p, turn on frame generation, turn on DLSS, turn on FSR4, you are set. And I knew that immediately, okay? A lot of other content creators are out there like, oh, these are just junk, because they're looking at them from that closed mind space that they're only testing them at freaking native resolution. Well, yeah, of course they're trash at native resolution. Like, we haven't seen a massive gain at all in the last 6 years. The features that make the games playable even more, those are more important now. I recognize that early on. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. 90% of gamers are going to turn these features on. I mean, there's so many gamers still playing on console that are my age, okay? Like, they don't care about frame generation, bruh. They don't care about upscaling. If they did, they wouldn't be on consoles anymore. That's the thing. That's the thing. So to sit and fight about stupid stuff like frame generation or yeah, to me it doesn't make any sense. Most of these guys are going to buy it. They're going to buy a 5070 Ti, or they're going to buy a 5070. They're going to plug it in. They're going to play 4K, and they're going to be like, "Damn, this is incredible!" And they're right. They're 100% right. They're gonna have a great time, and that's just going to make other YouTubers look foolish for trying to make them hate these products. Like I don't even get it. Like there's not one bad GPU out right now. Not even a 5050. Like a 1080p for a reasonable cost, you can legit enjoy playing video games. So I don't understand what the big deal is. I mean, you can play it and it's still better than what you can do on a console on most of the time. So, all right, guys, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I know this was a little bit long and a little bit rambly, and you know, at the end of the day, it's just like with the 6090 leaks, I'm hoping that my new build will cure that FOMO for me, because that's the thing, the FOMO. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Have fun.